Now on CBS 4 News at 6:30, what went wrong? The NTSB now says Asiana Flight 214 was coming in too low and too slow for landing at San Francisco. And what if it happened here? How are South Florida's airports prepared for disaster? Plus, a legal expert weighs in on what will no doubt be the filing of crash-related lawsuits. Also tonight, deadly shooting in Broward, men gunned down playing dominoes in a Pompano Beach driveway. Good evening, I'm Brian Andrews, updating Sunday's top stories.
This is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
Disaster on landing. Cell phone video catches the final moments of that Asiana flight as that 777 jetliner hit the runway at San Francisco, breaking off its tail, the fuselage spinning into the dirt, and then catching fire. Tonight, the NTSB says that 777 was coming in too slow on its final approach, and that a second and a half before impact, the flight crew gave the order to go around, but couldn't pull up in time. CBS reporter Begad Shaban is in San Francisco and kicks off our team coverage. Another scare at San Francisco this afternoon. Reports of a plane coming in with one of its engines out. Fire trucks staging on the runway to greet that flight, which we are told landed safely and without incident. But for now, our team coverage continues on this big story. We go back to South Florida, where passengers are scrambling to find space on flights to the West Coast. Our major airports are reviewing their disaster plans. And our Maggie Newland is speaking with a lawyer who says Asiana Airlines needs to get ready for a flood of litigation. Maggie. Switching gears, we had a sun-filled weekend here at home, just a passing shower or two over the beaches. CBS 4 meteorologist Jeff Baradelli joining us now with our first look at the forecast. Now, she's accused of being twice the legal limit when she drove a Porsche into a group of homeless men in Fort Lauderdale earlier this month. Eliza Russell bonded out of jail last night after posting a $450,000 bond. Police say Russell struck and killed two men in a Fort Lauderdale parking lot on the 14th of June. Russell turned herself in on Wednesday to face those charges. She is charged with 2 counts of DUI manslaughter. A rash of car break-ins at a beach place in Fort Lauderdale has cops setting up a sting involving a decoy car, surveillance video, and so-called smart water. This guy, 21-year-old Michael Jackson, was arrested this morning after police say they got him on videotape burglarizing a car. He was also examined with a black light, and police found the presence of that smart water, which creates a stain only visible under black light. Jackson was charged with burglary. Federal spending cuts stemming from the March sequester will mean major furloughs at the Pentagon. Starting tomorrow, 650,000 Defense Department employees will be on furlough. That means that civilian Pentagon workers will be forced to take 1 unpaid day off each week through September 21st. That will equal a 20% reduction of their income. $85 billion in federal spending cuts kicked in on March the 1st. The furloughs are expected to save $1.8 billion in defense spending. Still ahead tonight on CBS 4 News, up in flames. A train derails in Canada, bursting into a ball of fire. What emergency crews are doing to fight that blaze. And a major milestone. See the massive vessel that floated into Port Everglades this weekend. Coming up, it broke some records when it docked. We'll explain. Welcome back to the news. A group of guys playing dominoes in a driveway in Pompano Beach when suddenly they become victims of a robbery and shooting. Tonight, one man is dead, others are in the hospital, and CBS 4's David Setta joins us live now with more on the story. David. CBS 4 News traffic alert in Miami-Dade County. The famous Miami Beach flyover from the MacArthur Causeway to Alton Road is closing soon for repairs. There is no other way to say it, but it's going to be a bottleneck, as those trying to go north on Alton will have to wait for the light. Those on Alton will be detoured to 8th. It's going to be a headache, but don't worry. We'll get through it. The shutdown starts on July the 14th and will run for at least 30 days. To Canada now, in a deadly train derailment in eastern Quebec. That derailment of a train carrying crude oil sparked a series of explosions. 5 people are confirmed dead and more than 40 are reported missing. Firefighters spent hours trying to get those flames out, all the time worried about more explosions touching off. Still ahead tonight on CBS 4 News, a day with the pooch. After the break, see how dozens of people spent their day with their 4-legged friends on Miami Beach. Plus, how some of them found a new home for them. Now the story of one big boat, a record-setting arrival at Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale. She is called the Ellie Lady, 813 feet long, an oil tanker, the biggest tanker to ever dock in Port Everglades. The ship laden with 8.2 million gallons of jet fuel, destined for South Florida's 3 major airports. CBS 4 meteorologist Jeff Berardelli is watching some tropical trouble way out there, Jeff. Local legend and citrus grower Al Roth celebrating 103 years young. Roth is the man behind the popular New River Groves Market. Opened as a small fruit stand at Beatty back in 1964. Roth's family gathered at the market today to celebrate his lifelong work. The family business grew and grew and grew into a huge tourist hotspot. It's also known for its award-winning key lime pie. New River Groves now ships thousands of pounds of Florida citrus throughout the U.S. and Canada. It was the perfect day to picnic with your pooch on Miami Beach. Pet lovers gathering at the botanical gardens there, and those who did not come with their pets had a chance to adopt one. Miami-Dade Animal Services and the Cat Network hoping to connect loving pets with loving homes. The event featured live music, paw print painting, and prize giveaways. We have some developing news coming into us right now from Nantucket in Massachusetts. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's wife, Teresa Heinz, has been hospitalized. We're told that she was admitted to the emergency room of Nantucket Cottage Hospital just a short time ago in critical condition. A hospital spokesperson says she is now stable. No word why she has been hospitalized. Back in 2009, you may recall, Heinz Kerry revealed that she was being treated for breast cancer. We are going to be back with a look at CBS 4 Sports. Stay with us. Tonight, we are hearing the chaos of a police-involved shooting. One dead, several wounded, and the adrenaline coming through the police radio as it unfolded. A woman accused of being part of a ring that drugged and robbed wealthy men here in South Florida has been arrested in New York City. Police there took Subaya Baya into custody for the Miami Beach Police Department. The 25-year-old, one of 4 women in the alleged ring, wanted for larceny and the theft of jewelry and cash from New York Giants player Shawn Rogers when he was staying at the Fontainebleau back in March. We've got more breaking news late this Sunday night. This just coming in on the Associated Press from Anchorage, Alaska. Apparently an air taxi carrying tourists has crashed at the Soldotna Airport. We're told that there were 10 people that have been killed in this accident. Apparently the plane, which is a fixed-wing aircraft, was fully engulfed in flames before firefighters could get to it. The NTSB right now is sending a GO team to Alaska to investigate. But again, this just reaching the newsroom now. A passenger plane in Alaska has gone down, claiming at least 10 lives. Our other big story tonight out of San Francisco. You are looking inside the fuselage of that burned-out airplane that crashed yesterday morning on landing. The FBI has an evidence response team that's helping the NTSB pick up the pieces and search for the official cause of the air disaster on the West Coast. And then we've learned this. 2 Chinese teenagers who were killed in yesterday's accident, well, now we're hearing one of them may have survived the impact of the crash, but was killed when she was run over by a responding emergency vehicle. There's a lot going on in the investigation. For more on that, we send you out to San Francisco and CBS 4's Bigad Shaban. We have new details right now on a shooting in Broward County. You are about to hear from one of the survivors of a late-night shooting that claimed the life of a man playing dominoes with friends on his driveway. CBS 4's David Sutta has that man's incredible story as the bullets were flying. David, what did he tell you? Protests turning violent in Egypt Sunday night, 2 days after a deadly clash left more than 30 people dead. CBS 4's Adriana Diaz has the latest. In a statement this weekend, President Obama condemned the violence in Egypt and said the U.S. will not be taking sides. Meantime, Egypt's interim president has selected a vice president and prime minister to serve until new elections can be held. Welcome back. Under the Dome, a sci-fi thriller where a dome-shaped force field is dropped over rural America. It's a huge hit on CBS television, and it's based on a novel by Stephen King, who spoke with CBS News correspondent Anthony Mason. Welcome back. A one-of-a-kind solar-powered airplane arrived at JFK Airport in New York. It's the first time a plane capable of flying day and night, powered by solar energy, has crossed the country. The Solar Impulse came in for a landing last night before a group of supporters. The arrival marks the culmination of a month-long trip across America. Big news right now as you're going to bed this Sunday evening is the birth of another tropical storm. What does it mean for us? Let's find out. On top of Chantal for us this evening is Jeff Berardelli. And from San Francisco, let's bring it home now to South Florida. And what would happen if a disaster like we saw at San Francisco were to take place right here? Let's check back in with Maggie Newland at Miami International Airport. To New England now, and the resort island of Nantucket, where Senator John Kerry's wife was rushed to the hospital this afternoon in critical condition. Teresa Heinz, who happens to be the heiress to the Heinz ketchup fortune through a previous marriage, is said to be in stable condition tonight. Doctors have not said officially why she was admitted. Back in 2009, Heinz made public the fact that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Reports from the hospital this evening say the Secretary of State is with his wife and that her condition is being closely monitored. Up next on the news, calling tech support can be a frustrating situation when your gizmos are not working, but scammers are taking advantage of this. Our very own Josh Benson explains how you can protect yourself from being scammed. Plus, explosions caused by a train derailment in eastern Quebec claims the lives of 5 people. We'll have the latest on that next. I'm Brian Andrews in the CBS 4 studio. Thanks for watching tonight. We're going to send you off to bed with some really great video of what happened in Miami Beach on Sunday. If you are a pet lover, then look at these beautiful dogs taking part in a pet adoption event at the Botanical Gardens in Miami Beach. People bringing out their pets to enjoy the sunshine and to enjoy each other. And yes, they even had little doggy bags available just in case the dogs got a little excited. There were also cats there because this was not just an event to bring out your animals, but also an event to adopt animals. And you can see they had pools. Look at that little guy right there with the tennis ball is just floating around. Cooling off in the South Florida sun. What a way to spend the weekend with your animals at the Miami Beach Botanical Garden. Again, an event sponsored by the Miami-Dade Aviation Authority, Miami-Dade Pet Charity, and also the Animal Authority. That'll do it for our news tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Andrews. Do start your day tomorrow morning with CBS 4 News beginning at 6 a.m. And of course, our news partners at WIOD, they're always on the radio, and we are always on at CBSMiami.com. Good night.